All right, so the final thing that we have to be able to do is both perform and identify a sequence of transformations. And what that means is more than one transformation on the same thing, one after the other. So maybe you do a translation and you get a new figure, and then you reflect that figure. Okay. So it can be any different combination of them. Very, very rarely is it more than two. So most of the ones that you're going to see in this file are two. There might be one that you have to do with three. And in terms of the Regents exam, it's less likely that you're asked to do one and more likely that you're asked to identify one. So if you're splitting your time and trying to figure out what's more important, I would spend more time in the file where you're actually identifying these things. All right. Now, there are two different types of notations that you will see. One of them is going to happen very, very often, and one of them might never happen other than a couple of times here. So the main one that you're going to see is just going to list the transformations in the order you're supposed to do them. Say like do a rotation 90 degrees followed by a reflection over the x-axis. All right, that is the way that 95% of the questions are asked. There's this older way that they used to do it. If you take IB, you're going to see this notation in IB classes, and you'll see it occasionally in Algebra 2 with some stuff. It's got these little circles. All right, the little circle means composed with. So this has a reflection, a translation, and a dilation. Three things happening to it. All right. And the big thing with this is if you do see one of these, all right, you read right to left. So the dilation would happen first, then the translation, then the reflection. All right. It's weird because it's the opposite of what we would think. It's because it's a different notation from some parentheses. Um, more than likely you're never going to see it. So don't worry about it. Just read the problem. If you do happen to see one of these, the biggest thing is just start on the right and work your way to the left. The other super, super important thing, all right, is in bold right here. So when you do one of these, it goes one after the other. It's kind of building on each thing. So you use the new points when you do this next transformation, not the original points. All right, so you're going to see this when you do some of the problems and you see some of the examples here. You don't keep going back to the original points. It's also super important to write the points down. I'm not sure if it says that anyplace, so I'm going to add it here just in case it doesn't. Write all of your coordinates down, even if it doesn't say to write the coordinates down. All right, because it's easier for you to kind of follow on what you're doing and diagnose mistakes that might be happening there as you go through and do this stuff.